Hey guys, welcome to another video. We are finally doing the Kekkou Kamen manga review. So first off, thanks for waiting. I know it's not really easy to wait months and months and months for a single review to come out. All right, so yeah, this was probably one of the hardest, if not the hardest, manga series that I've ever had to read. Or that I've ever read in general. And personally, I quite liked it. I don't think it's going to be something for everybody. But yeah, it was good fun. So I think let's start with the history of the series, such as it is. If you're in the know, you already know part of this. For those who don't know, and even for those who do know, I guess, this series was an accident, essentially. The author, Go Nagai, wrote, had this idea to parody Kekkou Kamen, which was a Japanese superhero that was airing on TV at the time. And the idea was to have it be a naked, or well, mostly naked, schoolgirl fighting against a corrupt school system. Pretty ridiculous, right? So he thought, oh well, the editor will just have a laugh, send it back, tell me no, and that'll be the end of it. But his editor loved the idea and greenlit the series. I honestly have no idea how to feel about that origin story. The series ran for about 4 years, from 1974 until 1978. It was serialized in Shueisha's monthly Shonen Jump magazine, and Shueisha then collected the serialized issues into 5 tankobon volumes starting in 1976, and ending when the series ended in 1978. Shueisha reprinted the series in the 90s, releasing a 3-volume run between April and December of 1990, and then the series was, I guess, kind of went under the radar in between reprints, because the next reprint happened only in 1996 by Kadokawa Shoten, and they released, let me just check my notes here real quick. Yeah, 3 volumes. So they Kadokawa Shoten picked it up in 1996 and released 3 volumes in April of that year. And then the series just kind of dropped off the radar again, until 2003, when Kodansha Comics released a single volume in July of 2003. A 2-volume run of the series was released by Lead Publishing in 2004. The series has been adapted into a 4-part OVA anime series and I believe it's had 10 live-action movies, although I could be slightly off on that. Alright, so cards on the table here. I have not seen the live-action movies, and I highly doubt that I'm going to. But I have seen the anime, I have read the manga. In fact, I'm actually still reading the manga. But yeah, it's I've got enough, I think, to put this together. Alright, so the story of this series. Wow. Story. If you can even call it a story. Takes place, for those who don't know, takes place in a school called the Spartan Institute. Now this is a school that is known for putting students in high-class universities in Japan. So if you're a student here and you graduate, you are pretty much guaranteed that you'll be able to get into a top university in the country. And the teachers are quite proud of that fact. But they are also abusing the students to the point where the students are terrified, absolutely terrified of getting bad grades. Sounds silly until you realize that the students who get bad grades end up with the school punishment counselors, torturers, essentially, for quite a while. Now the teachers do have a proverbial thorn in their side when Kekkou Kamen shows up, this masked vigilante who wears practically nothing. So basically Kekkou Kamen shows up whenever there's the punishment is about to start and beats the crap out of these punishment counselors. And as I said earlier, she's pretty much completely naked, apart from gloves, boots, and a mask, and that's about it. That's pretty much the gist of the story, is a naked schoolgirl fighting against a corrupt school system. Not much else to say. In terms of what I liked about the series, I liked the artwork. I thought that the artwork was quite nice. It has a sort of cutesy romance comedy type look to it, which kind of threw me through a loop when it got really dark really fast. But I kind of like that. I also quite like the idea behind the series, the idea to parody a popular superhero. And I mean, I had my favorite moments in the manga as well. Some of the jokes fall flat, I'm not gonna lie, but there are a couple of pretty good ones. Most of the likable in most of them are essentially. Yeah, they don't have a role to play. That's kind of the whole problem. The villains are okay, yes. They're fun. That's about all I can say. They're also likable enough, but a lot of them were just a little a little bit too goofy for my liking. I couldn't really take them seriously. Series of humor, as I said just now, I had a lot of some favorite moments in the manga. But some of the jokes do fall flat, and you do end up questioning, the author's sanity. In terms of what I didn't like, I really only had one big problem with the series. There really wasn't much that I disliked. The humor, characters, concept, the story, ideas, the artwork, all of that stuff is great. But if I had to pin down a problem, it would be the tone. There really isn't one. It's all over the place. You read it and it comes across as a raunchy school life comedy, right? And then it shifts gears and becomes this action thriller seinen style series. And this for lack of a better term, tonal whiplash is kind of a problem because it makes it very difficult to keep your head on straight while you're reading it. You get very confused very quickly. At least I did. When it's a comedy, it's funny. And when it is that dark sort of seinen thriller action horror series, it can be genuinely terrifying. But it can also be terrifyingly cringeworthy. So yeah, that's pretty much all I disliked, was the tonal whiplash. Now, as I said earlier, I can't talk about the films because I haven't seen them. But if I was to compare the anime and the manga, the manga's artwork, story, and characters, as I've said twice already, are pretty good. And if you can get into it, it's a lot of fun to read. It is, I'm not going to lie, it is much darker than the anime adaptation. Regrettably, however, it's not. The tone is all over the place, like I said earlier, and this is quite a jarring. It can be quite jarring for newcomers and for veterans alike. I mean, I've read, I think, close to 150 different manga series, and yeah, the tone shifts from story to story, but it's got a build up to it. There's some build up, so you're expecting the dark stuff. In this case, you really can't. The anime adaptation is more tonally consistent. It's a raunchy goofball comedy more than anything else. And as such, the characters, story, humor, if not better than the manga in some respects. The tone is consistently goofy. There's no, okay, now it's a comedy, now it's an action thriller series, now it's this, now it's that. It sticks to that comedy element. I mean, yeah, the anime does have its moments where it falls flat as well, but it's at least tone, in terms of its tone, it's at least consistent, so you don't have to struggle with it as much as as you normally would with a series like this. To me, this comes off as a turn off your brain kind of series. You know, it's something that you put on in the background, where the anime, at least, is one of those turn off your brain kind of things. Because it is dumb. It really is dumb. But if you can turn your brain off for a bit, then yeah, you can enjoy it a lot more than you would if you were paying attention to every little detail. On the whole, the series isn't bad. I had fun with it. I had fun. It was surprisingly enjoyable. The anime and manga are beasts of different breeds, so you can't really say, well, this one's better than that one. They both have strengths and weaknesses. Ultimately, I would say check out the anime and the manga. And you can even check out the films as well, if you feel so inclined. And make your own judgment, make your own decision on whether or not you enjoy it. I actually looked at reading Kekkou Kamen way back when I started reading manga in sort of the summer of 2011. Right, so I've been reading manga for a while, and Kekkou Kamen was one of those that I found pretty early on, and I basically looked at the plot synopsis and went, yeah, no thanks, and went and read something else. But I did eventually go back to Kekkou Kamen recently. I mean, there really is only so much nisekoi and food wars and what was that other one that I read recently? I can't remember it now. But I mean, there's only so much that I can take, you know. So I wanted something different, and Nagai delivered. So yeah. Alright. Yeah. Now I'm repeating myself. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. That's my review, such as it is. I'd love to know from you guys what you think of this series. If you've read it, what did you think of it? If you haven't read it, are you likely to read it? If so, why or why not? If you have read it, did you enjoy it? What were your thoughts in general? Was it good? Was it not good? You know, did you have fun with it? No. You know. So, hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts on the manga series. You can drop your thoughts on the anime and on the films as well if you like, in the comments section below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.